Hey, good morning, peace and blessings. I just want to continue on what I usually make my content about, spiritual warfare, the correlation between that and narcissism. In your wilderness journey, you'll go through a lot of things, which I'm in, currently right now, wilderness journey, stage, mode, period, whatever you want to label it as. You'll go through a lot of things, for the better. It's God, testing your merit. It is Yahweh testing. It is Yahweh allowing you to go through spiritual things to show you, how much you leveled up, and to also, show you new things. It is a time of teaching. It is a time of rejoicing. It is not, what most people think it is when you first enter wilderness, stage of your spiritual walk. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather. I woke up with, like, a slight cold, so, pause. So, so, excuse me for that. But what I've come to understand is, a lot of people that are, of this world, I'll just say that, of this world, who are not lovers of God, they look at you, jealousy, envy, rage, you know, the spirits they under, but they don't understand, how much work that you put into, your love of God, how much sacrifice it takes, to walk this narrow path, to cut off your social life, to cut off old family, to cut off even your mother, to cut off shooting couple hoops, just simply to take up this and bear this cross for Jesus every day. They don't understand it. They won't understand it. So you cannot let people throw you off your path. Stay on this narrow path. Realize that you have a God-given destiny to bring people to the kingdom of light. And people understand, how to. People understand that you can bring people to the light because you give off a high vibrational frequency into the matrix. Your soul is pure. You are a physical manifestation of the Holy Spirit. They see it in you. They see your light. They see the light that you carry. They understand it. It bothers them. It bothers their demons. But they also understand that, most likely, not for everybody, not just throw everybody in a loop. Some people can change. Some people have the capability of changing. But some people just, don't understand how to change. But a lot of people, majority, don't want to change. Have gotten to a point in their life they just don't want to change. So they'll see you, as their enemy. They're very anti-Christ, and people are, some majority of people, not all, but some people are very anti-Christ in spirit. They see the light that you carry. They see, just like, reminiscent of the Pharisees, how they viewed Jesus. They seen the light that he carried, and the teachings that he was trying to spread in this world. Jesus never sinned. Jesus was the most perfect man in existence. One of the most smartest men ever born, created through Yah. The Pharisees hated him, caused his death. It's very parallel to what you'll go through now. As a lover of God, as a chosen one, as the light of this world, whatever you may be, whether it's just lover of God, whether as a chosen, it's the same parallels. And the Bible says, in the end of times, men will be lovers of themselves. They won't understand knowledge. I'm paraphrasing, excuse me. They won't understand knowledge. They won't seek to understand knowledge. They'll be lovers of themselves. People think their way is the best. Excuse me. People are reminiscent to Bill Belichick. If you're a lover of football, Bill Belichick doesn't want to listen to nobody, the GM, the all the higher ups, the front execs, the players. He doesn't want to listen to nobody to fix what is going on in the system, and that he runs, New England Patriots. Because he's just so used to his way and his way. People are very reminiscent to Bill Belichick, and mentality, and mindset, and lifestyle. You have to understand that. They see you as a direct threat. Not everybody, but some people see you as a direct threat to that. Most like if you were a male, it's all the older males in your community. They're going to see you as a threat because they're so used to being, whatever way they've been, for 40-something years. And here you come along, a young guy, preaching, about God and, trying to be good. And, actually, they're going to look like a certain way, to them mentally. But, not knowing that, excuse me, not knowing that, you don't really notice them in that type of way. Like, you just want to do your part, in this world, and things of that sort. But you just have to set yourself apart. You have to realize that in this world, People are under the Antichrist. Not everybody. I'm just gonna say it like that. Not throw everybody under the bus. Majority of people in this demonic matrix are under this program, and that the Freemasons pushed. We are they are very Antichrist in lifestyle, spirit, and heart and soul. They're very Antichrist. You have to realize it. So whatever you do, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if it's good, bad, or the other. Whatever you do is the light of this world. People are gonna hate it. They're not gonna understand it. They're gonna hate it. They're gonna be jealous. They're gonna be envy. But you cannot let that deter you from your path and this narrow path to heaven. You have to bring people with you. You have to show people that whatever they do, say, feel, will not stop God's works. That is your destiny. That is my destiny. Whoever's chosen, that is their destiny as well. Because people who were chosen set the pathway for me to do what I'm doing right now. Years ago, I'm just doing the same thing. I'm laying the breadcrumbs for others to follow as well. But people did the same thing for me. And if you were chosen, you were listening to this, you're going to do the same thing. I was once like you, and once like people in this world, sinful, running around, not understanding. I wasn't as sinful as most, to be honest, but, I sinned before and stuff like that. I wasn't as sinful as the majority, to be honest, so, maybe that's why I was chosen, but, I sinned before, and I was, in the hood and stuff like that with my friend, and not caring about God, just wanting to be, fit in and stuff like that, and, wear Jordans, but it's not important anymore. This is the end times. The mark of the beast is literally on the freaking news and stuff like that. I don't understand, but people aren't allowed to show it. They aren't allowed to since 2020, when demonic strongholds and authorities came into this world and attached themselves to people's vessels and souls, they weren't allowed to. They had to pick right back off where they left off. They weren't allowed to show the shift spiritually. They weren't allowed to. From the demons. It's just you wrestle with the spirit, not of the flesh. You have to understand it. In this world. So if somebody's going against you, if people are going against you, it might be your whole community going against you. It might be a group of people. It might be your family. It might be, your coworkers. You're wrestling with their spirit, their Antichrist spirit in them. But you're doing something right. You're on the right path. And God will carry you. God's been carrying me through way worse things than I ever experienced, nowadays. And I feel like that was a testament to what I'm going through now. I've been going through way worse things in my life than this little, measly spiritual warfare that I'm going through right now. It's, at a younger age. So, I just thank God, for making me, mentally tough, making me mentally adaptable, making me mentally susceptible to knowledge and pain and aware of my surroundings and able to adapt and utilize the God-given IQ that he blessed me with, to my betterment and not to my detriment. Excuse me for my cold, I'm sorry, I have a slight cold pause. I can't really do nothing about that. But yeah, I just wanted to, not to get off track. I just wanted to say, cloak yourself the armor of God. Right now these are times where the spiritual energy is shifting. A lot of people are being activated, for the light, more so than ever before. It's 2023, it's about to be 2024. The season is changing. A lot of people are being activated now. A lot of people are talking about it. Excuse me. So you have to, set them breadcrumbs, leave them breadcrumbs. Become a prayer warrior. Boost your prayer regimen. Study the Bible more, put out more content, study more things religiously, theology, a lot of stuff that you were doing before, that I do before, bolster it, in the times to come, because people are being activated on the light side now. It's just the truth. It just was happening. I think maybe 2020 came and everybody thought it was going to be, demon, weird world, to, freaking Jesus came or something. But no, God counteracted that. He gave people enough time, to love their sin and get used to it and stuff like that and whatever, do whatever they was doing. Then he activated people. That's just what happened. That's just the truth. It's just a spiritual shift now. Because it's time for people to show whether they want to get to heaven or they want to get to hell. It's time now. So it's a spiritual, it's a balance now. And peace and blessings. Sorry, and I just wanted to add, and like I said, we wrestle with the spirit, not with the flesh. You have to understand, these people look at you as chosen, as a lover of God, Yahweh, as a lover of Jesus Christ, Yeshua's teachings. They look at you as the enemy. They look at you as something they are not. Most likely cannot be the majority. People would rather look at you and have a reason to hate, and be miserable and foolish, and rally against you than to get with you and figure out a way for themselves to go to heaven. People would rather sin and grin, and hate on you and be antichrist, in their lifestyle, than to actually, link with you, mentally and put your two heads together, pause, and figure out a way to get to heaven for both of y'all equally. That's what you have to realize you're dealing with. I'm a man, I'm a male. These men would rather, seek to lie with you, seek to hate on you, spiritually attack you, rather than to actually spiritually, bring their mothers, to heaven. That is what you're dealing with. The spirit, not the flesh. People would rather bother you spiritually, rather deter you spiritually from your journey, from your path, while you minding your own business, between you, God, and Jesus, and the relationship that you built with them. People would rather worry about that than their own, and that of their mothers, that of their daughters, that of their sons, that of their grandmothers. These men and these women that we deal with. You wrestle with the spirit, not of the flesh. And that alone should keep you focused straight on your path of this narrow walk to God. Because that is foolishness in itself. To have something around you with the ability to give you spiritual knowledge so you can get to heaven yourself, but to seek to hate on somebody, and try to deter them from their spiritual walk, do all these, sinful, demonic, witchcrafty things, towards them, because you do not have it yourself. It's foolishness. It's reprobate minds. You're dealing with narcissistic people with demonic spirits attached to their soul. But it's really nothing to fear. It's really, if you break it down, you're dealing with grown children. So you just have to build a certain formula. It's a formula to it for dealing with these narcissistic people, these demon-possessed people. It's a formula to it. I figured it out. It took a while, but I figured it out. It's a formula to it. Dealing with these people. They're children. They're literally children. In adult bodies, that's what you're dealing with. So, there's nothing to be fearful. It's nothing to be fearful. Even the most high elect, look at Donald Trump. He's like 60-something years old, acting like a kid. This is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with narcissistic people. You're dealing with the spirits of Ahab and Jezebel. They're children, who at adolescent years, their parents raised them wrong, and something happened to them, and whatever variables it may be, they just never got over it. So they decided to take everything out on the world. Instead of doing the time, putting in the time, pause to change. Because God can see your spirit. God can see your heart. God can see your soul. So if you were given over to demonic spirits in 2020, God's seen it in you, that you had the Antichrist already in you. But instead of trying to figure out how to get rid of it, how to remedy it, how to nullify it, how to change it, these people in your community and this world that is reprobative minds, that are antichrist in the spirit, they will seek to hate you, envy you, and be jealous of you. Instead of figuring out how to mirror what you're doing to gain access to heaven for themselves and their families, they'd rather you and their families burn in hell than for you to go up there with other people. So you have to realize what you're dealing with and become even stronger in your spiritual regimens. And peace and blessings.